Another Oblivion gate. I'm not gonna give a shit about those, not unless we are at a much higher level, so the digital stones yield great results. Or we need Oblivion-based ingredients or rewards for some other reason. Apparently, they're not gonna run out, so just running them and running them and running them gets you nowhere. So we're mostly going to just ignore them. Mostly. Standard operating procedure is ignore, except if you have an overriding reason not to ignore, basically. Currently we don't have one. We have plenty of money. We can train for a couple levels with that. I don't really want to spend it on anything specific. There's nothing good to buy, and so on, so we're good for now. I think I'm gonna burn most of my money on training. There are a couple of strongholds. I would like to develop them fully out of curiosity more than anything. I don't particularly intend to move around. The little hut we have is good for me. It's easy to reach. It is simple, not complicated. So close to a quick travel location, and it has nothing extra to waste time. There are still reasons to use other strongholds. The main reason would be concentration of services. I don't know, it's not that important. I mean, ability to create your own spells at your home is nice, but how often do you really need to make your own spells? Like a handful of time throughout the entire playthrough, as you basically get better spells, or casting potential increases, so you have to upgrade some of your damage spells. Something along those lines. Ah, shit. It's fair. This was supposed to be some sort of a gigantic goblin cave. Doesn't look anything too special here. Maybe an extra... quite a bit extra skulls, but that's it. Not particularly impressive. Ah, right. I had a plan for this. I need to start using unarmed combat. It's basically because otherwise we'll level up too quickly. We want endurance. We paid for that. So I need to block, get hit a little bit. I really should switch to a heavier armor. We'll get some from block. We will get some from armor because we get to repair our equipment almost constantly. But if I also use blade to fight, we'll get a bit of strength and level up very quickly. If I use a little bit of a hand-to-hand combat first, we'll get plenty of strength, and it won't affect our leveling up. We need a hand-to-hand combat level of 21. That'll guarantee the maximum amount of progression for strength. We'll see how dangerous the enemies are here. Might not have the luxury to actually do this. Still, endurance strength level, basically. Alchemical ingredients gathered for another level up. Will be an intelligence level up, definitely. We need to get our summoned creature to a higher level. Yeah, that's impossible. But certainly closer to the expert level. I don't want to engage multiples at the same time. It's interesting. I'm blocking, but because I'm blocking without a shield, it's I don't get the knockback effect on the enemy. So they can just wail away. It would be great if I had a heavier armor. Also, my reach is pretty shit. Pathetic versus pathetic. Yeah, this is maybe a bit too much. It's not like we're in any danger of dying, but we're also... yeah, got halfway to a level up thanks to this. We're getting a huge amount of armor increase, which is totally worthless with light armor. They're basically just getting too many hits. What I would need is more of a block, so basically an actual shield. I don't understand why I can't use the shield without a weapon. But this doesn't really benefit me nearly as much. Got 4 level ups of hand-to-hand combat from just that though. Would need to have a heavy armor. That's what we need. I've basically thrown all of that away. This is a question: which do we value more? The block or the strength? Because this is the only correct answer if we value block. Oh shit. No good. I think I value the block more. Yeah, it's sort of questionable how good of a level up we're gonna get, but it's not too important. Never was. Nice and steady. Nice and steady. Still takes a lot of effort to get the block up. Right, this would have worked just fine if we had heavy armor instead of light. And we do need to repair after every goddamn fight, because getting even a single extra level of armor is very valuable. White Skin City. Probably miss things in the upper level. Hardly matters. We can always go back and clear the earlier sections. At least 2 goblins. Actually doing quite a bit of damage. It's a skirmisher, that's why it's doing quite a bit of damage. Playing this little game against the regular goblins makes sense. Not against skirmishers, they're way above me in the melee combat. That was an archer, not even a proper fighter. Probably should consider a better healing spell for ourselves. It doesn't have to heal immediately. Maybe every 2 seconds. 3 seconds. We have better trading spells already, so that's not a reason to maintain this horrible piece of crap. Goblin Jim's Cave. Some sort of a trap. No one inside. No victims, so who the hell even triggered this? Well, since we're back here, we might as well take a look at the side passages. Skirmisher, yeah. Can easily keep using blade, that's not gonna get a level up for a long time. It's even questionable, are we going to get a single armor increase? At 5 levels of hand to hand, we probably have a single level of blade. Still a 3 times multiplier, so it's not a god awful. And if we get an easier target, we could basically no, we're gonna get a light armor quickly, that'll bring things to 90%. So maybe a 4 time multiplier on endurance, 3 time on strength. Somewhere around there anyway. So not terrible, but not where we wanted things to be. Mithril helmet, I'll take that. Slight armor helmet without a doubt. It's not any better really than the chainmail helmet, not with our skill level. It does look somewhat better though. God damn it. Jumping the gun with the clicks. Yeah. Massively jumping the gun. It happens when you sort of start to lean on the button, waiting for the quick shot to the up position. You don't really look at what's happening, you just press the goddamn... Oh, we got a blunt. That's actually the worst thing we could have gotten. We're closer to a level up, and the next level up is probably light armor. No chance of getting a block, pretty low chance of even getting an armor anymore. So, when free skill points basically become a burden to you. There's no point really doing more endurance training unless we basically switch armors. Might as well go with Conjuration and Alchemy next. They'll be guaranteed intelligence. Extra willpower might not be a horrible idea either. We're 5 points away from getting the next tier of attack spells, and the current tier is our best way to kill things already. So if we can boost that even further, it'll make pretty much everything else obsolete, but we're guaranteed a good way of fighting for a long time to come. Multiple goblins. Like weaker type too. Yeah, there it is. Immediate shift in how we're gonna do things. It's magic kills only. We'll make another push for physical attributes some other time. Intelligence is the primary thing we want to develop. But Conjuration probably is needed to do a lot of the killing anyway, so we might as well fully embrace that too. We'll use secondary skills like Restoration training and Alchemy to bring the attributes up. Right, only one path to use. I don't really see that many goblins here. Not sure what that is, but usually you don't see any kind of structures within a cave. Nothing worthwhile, that's what it was. Okay. We can probably go down there without having to jump down. Oh fuck. Didn't expect it to be so close. They are not vulnerable to electric damage. Okay, this is a nice large cave system, but still nothing interesting in it. I only hope that because this has named goblins, like the goblins we encounter here are a tribe, the white skin goblins. So maybe they'll have a shaman at the end of this. Might get another good shaman staff out of it. Hand tree. Cheap ale and beer. Rats. So food and drink.
Where are you?
That's a human. What would be a human be doing with goblins? Okay, we've been detected, but... Oh, there we are. Nothing else, we need to definitely extend the duration of our summoned spells. They're not that costly anymore, and because we are constantly wearing armor, we're getting a decent amount of duration reduction. And we have to cast this twice now anyway, so it would be much cheaper to actually extend the duration by 10-15 seconds. An actual home. Well, I wasn't expecting this. Children's book. Some food items. So once upon a time there was a person living here. Then goblins came, took over. Probably. Yeah, who the hell are you?
Whatever it was, it's gone now.
Goblin Jim. He's real.
I'm just warming up.
He is also not all that harmless. Fine iron short sword. War axe. Okay, about as dangerous as a shaman, surely. I think the summoning spell he used is a journeyman level, so same level as my spells. Just opted out not using those horrible things. The duration isn't long enough. Okay, I was afraid maybe goblins are gonna attack me from the rear, but no such worries. They're behind the locked door. A single trapped goblin. I don't get this place. It didn't look like all that much from the outside either, so I suppose that's more in line with what we suspected that the markings outside the case might mean. There wasn't really anything special here, just a tribe of goblins and that's it. No leader, no shaman. Endurance 4, strength 4, luck 1. Acceptable upgrades, we got at least endurance to 40. We should be very close to getting destruction to 75 and conjuration to 70 when we get the eventual level up. So maybe around 4 to 5 skills, skill upgrades, leaving quite a few we need to achieve through other means. Restoration was always a goal to train a little bit higher. Should get back on that. Sure what I want to do next. Nothing too major. Oh no, if we're going to do this, we need to do the alchemy right now. Also, some sort of training. We don't really need to buy training this time. There's no point. It wouldn't contribute to anything. We don't need it for the level up multipliers. There are plenty of skills to push forward. I guess we're gonna save our money. Should consider getting heavy armor. I was about to say buying, but since we're a Fighters Guild member, we can just go and take basic iron armor. And it doesn't really matter what armor we use if we don't have the skill. So good armor, bad armor, it's all equally worthless. Mysticism and alteration would be easy ones to raise. We're gonna just stick with the restoration. Not sure how much willpower we're gonna get from that. It's gonna be enough to maybe get a 4-time multiplier. 5 might be out of our reach. I'd like to visit an Aelid ruin at this time. We've been using a lot of Welkin stones recently. I have plenty more in stock. But I could also use plenty more in stock. Maybe try to start with something actually useful. Chameleon resist paralysis. Those are all nice. Waste of blood grass maybe, but still. %14% chameleon for 60 seconds, more or less. Level up 1. Burden resist paralysis. Level up 2. 3. We want something along at least 6. Four. 5. Let's go with 7. After that, maybe get 6. Then go for a couple of magicka increasing ones. That would be genuinely useful for me. Yeah, that's about it. I just need a single ingredient that has it. And then I can see what the others are. Store magicka. Sacred Lotus Seed is... Ooh, feather. We could use feather potions. It'll work in combination with the spell we have. Flax Seed. 91 for... Yep, this is fantastic. Right, magicka. Maybe a little bit cheaper restore magicka. Yeah, flax seeds. This is more or less like a full restore magicka. It just takes a lot of time. So good in combat situations that seem to go on and on. Yeah, that's enough alchemy for us. Get plenty of cash from this. The potions are starting to be fairly valuable. Still takes it a little bit of time to go through all these. Put in one extra bottle here. Right. Right. Shopping.
It is good to see you again.
We could consider buying spells.
Tell me more. Have a look around.
It's a
You
good way to
won't find
invest
better
money.
That seems a fair price. You've made a good bit of gold.
I'm never gonna use this shit. Because by the time I can basically repair this, I can also enchant better using mithril equipment at least. So why the hell do I carry this with me? Damage fatigue 45. Chameleon isn't all that valuable to me either. Feather is. Some of these have theoretical usefulness.
You've made a good bit of gold. You got a... You drive a hard bargain. You got a great deal there.
Right, 10,000 gold.
Thank you. Please, return soon. It's always a pleasure.
I don't think there's much point in buying attack spells, because there we want the... We have the elements already as a spell, so there we want something unique. That's something we can enchant on our own. However, summoning doesn't work like that at all. I think Coral has summoning spells. Am I wrong? With summoning, you have to have the specific summon, so that's a lot of money spent. We already have, I think, expert level 1s ready. Dremora Lord and Daedra, but we could go for a clan fear at the very least. Maybe even some master level scrap. Depending on how much we want to spend. Future-proofing our character. No matter what happens, we can always rely on the summons. Also, there's a lot of high-level summons.
Hail.
Hello. I hope I can help.
I hope you can help too.
Certainly. Training and spells. Training and spells. It gets so boring after a while. Maybe someday I'll be able to move to the Arcane University. Archmage Traven. I'm willing to teach.
You're an
What
alteration
can I
teacher.
interest you in?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Clan Fear. Requires conjuration skill of 75. Thank you very much. We have Dremora, I think. Maybe a spirit. They would have things like silence, paralysis, cold attacks. So they could be useful against certain type of enemies. Also would be very hard to harm by certain type of enemies because they're well, spirits. Want the Frost Atronach, I think. Basic fighter to the of expert level. With a Wraith, you probably want the best possible one. The weaker ones are just rubbish. I mean, they might survive against an enemy, but they can't kill it. I'm not sure if these are any better, actually. Rebuke Undead. You could make a spell that summons all armor pieces. Bow. That might not be a horrible thing to buy. I mean, usually speaking, I wouldn't want to use it. But, no, better not. It depends on does it create its own arrows or not. I'm not gonna carry around arrows no matter what. It's only for 15 seconds too, that's not useful. Unless you just fire a single goddamn arrow. Spider Daedra. Skeleton Champion. I think the Wraith makes sense because we don't have a spirit type summon at all.
Tell your friends about me. Farewell. I hope I can... Goodbye.
Well met. Bye.
Right. So, our supply of spells got reinforced a little bit. Aelid Ruin. There's Aelid Ruins all over the place. I think there was one close to the Nocturnal Shrine. And the benefit there would be that we could also do the Nocturnal quest. Start with some Daedric quests, basically. Nocturnal would be for thieves, probably. I think I'll wait for level 15 before I start doing any of those. Mainly for the reward. So it's more or less guaranteed to be something useful. We might also need things like reputation or infamy or whatever before we can access the Daedra. Because it's similar to the way shrines, you need to do good deeds or live a good life before you get your blessings. So I'm not quite sure what that means. But at level 15 we've probably achieved a few things. We're the hero of Kavach, for example. It has to count for something. Arpenia. Fingers crossed for Welkin stones. Seriously? A crab. And the headless zombie is getting beaten back. Rats. I don't want rat meat. Damage Magica would be a useful effect if we want to start doing poisons. thought this was a turret. Not a particularly impressive one. So, if you are totally clueless about them and fighting, they might be a slight inconvenience. Really depends to the or whether does the damage actually scale. If not, they're pretty much worthless. I do sort of feel like the game would be much better if you would buff the traps in some way. They don't have to be instant death, but something that you really don't want to get hit by that, for example. And the only way to not get hit by it would be something besides just evading. Not noticed that at all. We might want to make the regenerate self spell, so we don't have to sit here casting and casting and casting. Especially during a fight, it would be fantastic if you could just cast something once and it keeps you going for a time. Seriously, crabs? Rats? I suppose this could be a ruin that has been cleaned up so many times. There's no one here, there's nothing... There's no loot, there's only vermin. But the problem is, what's the point of having a place like this in the first place then? I suppose if you would have some sort of secrets, and in those secret areas there still would be something. So touching the blades, it gives you damage, don't even need to be cut by them. Heal greater wounds. Where I was looking toward better heal. Restore 20 points for 2 seconds on self. Right. Actually, doesn't sound too bad. This is restore 8. This is massively more expensive. Too expensive. It would be better if you could just limit the amount of healing done and extend the duration for a few seconds. It would bring the cost probably down by 20 points. Because now it heals too much. Basically, if you haven't taken like a third of your health damage, there's no point of even casting it. Come on. Make it cool. We don't particularly want to jump down there. So fairly disappointing place. This would have been somewhat disappointing for a starter character. We haven't been here. That's the only area we haven't been in. And another goddamn rat. Garbage. That's what this place offered. And I wasn't expecting much. Yeah, this doesn't particularly satisfy me. There was definitely more alien ruins along the way to this place. Not sure if they were explorable sites, but definitely more alien ruins. Same time, I'm not sure what I should expect from them. If they're close to the road like this one, they probably are equally worthless. I'm not trying to really look at a ruin with my eyes. I'm just trying to see if we can spot any map markers. There's a port there. Looks like spirits. I wonder if you can get a summon spell for those. They were pretty much a nightmare for a non-melee fighter. I think. Are they like spirits or are they a combination? I think they're like spirits, so you need a specialty weapon to harm them. They might not be all that durable. Also, lightning damage is a high probability. Ah, there's another alien ruin. Looks impressive enough. We need defenders. trolls. Yeah, troll is way too aggressive, and it's a superior troll too, so we need to switch things up. And we should do custom attack spells too. These weren't bad, but they're now sort of obsolete. They're just doing too little damage. When we get to expert level, they're just totally worthless. Another troll, probably. But I need... Why can't I cast this? Requires Restoration 50, probably. Right. Okay, this could be a genuine useful treasure site. The opposition here is at least respectable. So we need to use our best abilities to effectively take care of them. Fighting with the sword is right out. I mean, I could contribute a little bit damage, but mostly it would be just me taking massive risk with my life. Beyond.